The two most successful managers in English Premier League history are going head-to-head. It's the game of the season so far, with lethal strikers in direct opposition. Ruud van Nistelrooy for Manchester United, and for Arsenal, Thierry Henry. Yet if class is permanent, form can be temporary. The Dutchman's hit a bad patch. Not Henry, though. He just keeps on scoring. The jewel in the champion's crown, and a man for the big occasion. A landmark occasion in every English Premier League season as the two super heavyweights meet. Old Trafford is the setting for a game Sir Alex Ferguson has already described this week as the match of the decade. That may be a trifle excessive, but it is Manchester United against Arsenal, and it is a contest that you simply cannot ignore. Patrick Vieira, you will gather from that, is fit and does play, and does wear the captain's armband for Arsenal, who today are in their changed colours of all blue. There is hostility and there's also respect aplenty between these two teams. And there's also the fascinating backdrop provided by last year's meeting of Manchester United and Arsenal at Old Trafford, when the game descended into scenes of acrimony and led to all manner of misconduct charges and subsequent fines and bans, all stemming from the reaction to a last-minute penalty miss by Ruud van Nistelrooy. But as you can see from the stare of today's Manchester United skipper Rio Ferdinand and the intense concentration, this is a game that really matters. It always matters, and this year in particular, with a huge gap between the sides, Arsenal 11 points ahead of Manchester United. It's a game that United simply have to win. Stars aplenty, stellar names in world football. Full house awaits. Here come the gladiators into the Old Trafford arena. Every starting player a full international. There are no bigger club occasions than this in English football, and Robbie Earle is alongside me to savour the atmosphere and the occasion. What are you expecting from this today, Robbie?
Well, believe me, John, just as a professional footballer, these are the days you train for. These are the moments that you want in your career. It's a massive game between two of the biggest clubs of the last decade. They've gone head-to-head for this Premiership title. Today's, for me, is more than about a victory, though. It's more than about 3 points. I think it has a big bearing on where the balance of English football lies. Have Arsenal become the new kings? Have they wrestled it away from Manchester United? Or are Manchester United still there standing proud? I think today will tell us in which direction that balance is.
Well, the handshakes may be cosmetic, but it is to be hoped that today we are concentrating on football and not on conflict. Let's have a look at the two lineups on this biggest of big occasions. Manchester United have been forced into making a late change to their lineup. Skipper Roy Keane has been struggling with a virus all week and has failed to come through, so Phil Neville comes in for only his second start of the season. Wayne Rooney is still searching for his first Premier League goal in United's colours. He got his first ever Premier League score against Arsenal for Everton. Rio Ferdinand is back after missing the midweek Champions League draw in Prague to attend a family funeral. By way of contrast, Arsenal's captain has been past fit. Patrick Vieira has recovered from ankle trouble and is joined in the starting 11 by the Dutchman Dennis Bergkamp. Jose Antonio Reyes is preferred to Robert Pires on the left side of midfield. Jens Lehmann, the German goalkeeper, will be hoping for a quiet afternoon after his pair of errors at Panathinaikos in the Champions League, but it's pretty unlikely he'll get one. Arsene Wenger has an outstanding record against Manchester United, but not against Wayne Rooney. Remember the day at Goodison Park 5 days more than 2 years ago when Rooney blasted his way into the consciousness of English football. Today is his 19th birthday. And everywhere you look, there are names of great standing in the game of football. The key question, I suppose, is how much, Robbie, will Manchester United miss their skipper, Roy Keane?
Well, there's no doubt Roy Keane had a huge presence to this Manchester United squad. I know people have talked for a number of years now about his lack of mobility, his lack of athleticism, that he's a diminishing force, but believe me, out there when it matters in the heat of the battle, Roy Keane carries a presence that the other players look up to, and that is a huge loss to Manchester United. Yes, Phil Neville will give them a little bit more athleticism and maybe be able to cover more areas of the pitch, but I think in Keane you miss a key battler in there. But this man is somebody who might just stand to the fore, Wayne Rooney. You just centre with him, it's his 19th birthday. This boy thrives on the big occasion. There is none bigger domestically than this. For some reason you feel that Rooney will have a chapter to write on this game.
The match officials, led by referee Mike Riley, who was the English FA's representative at Euro 2004, assisted today by two of the most experienced assistant referees in Jim Devine and Dave Babsky, and the fourth official is Alan Wiley. So the scene is set. Whatever happens, people will be talking about this game for days and weeks to come. The Barclays English Premier League can offer no bigger fixture than this. Between them, Manchester United and Arsenal have claimed 11 of the 12 Premier League titles, but rarely has there been such a big gap, almost a chasm between the two. 11 points at kick-off, so the onus is very much on the home side to chase the win they so badly need. Here's Bergkamp for Arsenal, finding Kolo Touré, and out in the wide open spaces of Arsenal's right flank is Lauren. Headed by Sylvestre. And Phil Neville, who's playing the holding role in midfield in the absence of Keane, sorting matters out with his older brother Gary. Ronaldo, Ashley Cole slid in, and Mike Riley, on whom there will be plenty of scrutiny today, is quickly at the scene of the crime.
Is that not something to do with Portugal and England, Euro 2004? And Ashley Cole did the very same. The moment Ronaldo got on the ball, Ashley Cole was up there looking to impose himself on him. Cole just leaves his first mark in the first minute. I think a little fortunate not to get a yellow card.
Well, there's been much discussion this week over what approach Mike Riley should take, whether it should be a light touch or a heavy-handed one. Don't know where you stand on that, Robbie.
Well, I think it's important that you have to understand what the players are going to there. The atmosphere here, John, is unbelievable. You almost can't put it into words. I'm a little bit butterflies in my stomach myself, and that transfers to the players. And sometimes you go into one or two tackles you shouldn't. I think Mike Riley's given Ashley Cole the benefit of the doubt on the first one today.
This has always been a close contest ever since the first of their 193 meetings in all competitions, a 3-all draw in 1894. Manchester United 76 wins, Arsenal 74 wins and 42 draws. Mike Riley on the spot to award Arsenal a free kick. Edu alongside Vieira in central midfield today. Reyes and Rio Ferdinand waiting for the ball to cross the whitewash, and Manchester United have a throw, and then Reyes has kicked the ball away rather petulantly, and the referee wants words with the Spaniard.
Just a matter of calming him down, nothing too much in that. It's interesting, John, if you just look to this game and we're looking for winners and look just purely at statistics, Arsenal 25 points, 29 league goals, unbeaten run. You would say against 7th in the league, somebody who scored 9 league goals with 14 points, you'd say Arsenal will come and win this game. Well, you have to take into account it's Manchester United we're talking about. It's the champions, it's the pride, it's Alex Ferguson, it's all those things in the mix that make this such an interesting game.
Rooney holding off Sol Campbell, but Vieira's there to nick the ball back. Phil Neville likewise for Manchester United. Sylvestre. Cole's header. Arsenal one draw. That would do them short of extending this extraordinary unbeaten run in the English Premier League to 50. Yes, these 50 matches. Last time they suffered a defeat in this competition was against Leeds on the 4th of May last year. But way against that, the fact that these sides met on 4 occasions in various competitions last season, and Arsenal failed to beat Manchester United. Phil Neville, cut out by Toure. Freddie Ljungberg, goal scorer in Athens in the week. And this is in fact the second meeting of this season, but the first competitive one. Arsenal coming out on top in the Community Shield, the curtain raiser to the season in Cardiff at the beginning of August, when they won by 3 goals to 1.
It was interesting as we were around the tunnel, John, as the players were coming in, and we were picking up the feeling that the Arsenal players would be happy with a draw today. A draw would be a moral victory for them. It'd be another step to that 50th game to stay unbeaten. In a way, Manchester United have to win. They have to put a mark on Arsenal and stop that run and show them that they're still in there fighting for the Premiership title.
Put up given against Paul Scholes, whose boot was rather too close for comfort to Freddie Ljungberg's chin. Scholes playing his 427th game for his only club today. Edu. Ashley Cole. Cross hits Gary Neville. Cole. Bergkamp. Rio Ferdinand, and the flag was up for offside against Thierry Henry. Arsene Wenger celebrated his 55th birthday on Friday. It's his 26th game against Manchester United, 11 wins, 7 draws and just 7 defeats. Not many managers can claim a record like that.
You have to understand the atmosphere, you have to understand what's at stake. The referee's done a good job so far.
Van Nistelrooy, very rapidly to him was Kolo Toure. Old Trafford is often one of the quieter English Premier League grounds. Not today.
No, there's no prawn sandwiches today, John. It's full on, it's the full force of Manchester United, and they all being vociferous, they all being vocal. They're trying to lift their team. They know how important this game is to the club.
Manchester United, the top dogs in English football for more than 10 years now. Ronaldo goes down, it won't be the first time we see that today. Mike Riley shakes his head. Scholes. Ryan Giggs. Encouraging the Argentine Ainse to come forward. And Vieira's mistake, Wayne Rooney. Super block by Kolo Toure. Here's Rooney again, there's no flag. Ryan Giggs for Manchester United, it hit Vieira. Campbell was in there as well in the way. Ainse. Too long for Ronaldo. But a real chance in there for Ryan Giggs, and Sol Campbell stood firm.
John, we talk about all the flair Manchester United. Let me tell you something, they've got a rock in the back there in Toure and also in Campbell. Both defenders do brilliantly. Toure gets the first block, watch Campbell rush out to Giggs. Another great block in there and they get the danger away. For all the flair, remember that they've got a great defensive record as well. The likes of Toure and Campbell, they play their part.
Bergkamp up early, good flick to Henry. And Henry was just about to pull the trigger when Philip Neville arrived. Scholes, Giggs. Asking too much of Rooney.
Brilliant tackle that by Phil Neville. Showed great pace and determination to get back and block the ball from Henry. The pace of the game, John's unrelenting.
Bergkamp looking through the middle for Ljungberg. Swept in by Ronaldo. Van Nistelrooy. So much desire coursing through the veins, in particular of Manchester United. Ince. Ambitious.
Rush of blood. Great situation. Worked the ball well from Scholes out to Ince. Good numbers forward, really. He's got to look to put that into the box. There's a real pace about the game. As you said, John, top international players playing right at the top of the game. It's an unbelievable atmosphere we're getting. I said before, it's hard to put into words. The hairs are standing up on the back of my neck, and as a player who's played a number of places around the world, this is an unbelievable stage here today. Plough Lane, I think, was close.
Ince. Foul by Ljungberg. Right under the nose of the referee's assistant, Jim Devine.
So many key battles in all areas of the pitch. Ronaldo v Cole, Ljungberg v Ince, Henry, Ferdinand, Rooney, Campbell. Everywhere you look, these great battles, great personal battles.
So while we wait for the free kick, I'll run through the substitutes for the two sides who would walk into just about any other starting lineup in the Barclays English Premier League. For Manchester United, Tim Howard, Wes Brown, Louis Saha, Alan Smith and the young Irishman Liam Miller. For Arsenal, Pires, Van Persie, the goalkeeper Taylor, Cesc Fabregas and Pascal Sigon. Cole, Edu, Toure. Forward for Henry, between the two centre-backs, and Ferdinand covered well.
Brilliant play by Ferdinand. For a moment I thought Henry was in. Rio showed that turn of pace, and a clever little header just got United out of trouble.
There's a firm but fair challenge in the view of the referee from Lauren on Giggs.
I have to say, putting your foot on the ball at the moment is not the order of the day. Tackles are flying in.
You didn't expect any different, did you? Sylvester. Giggs. Toure. Out by Lauren. Ronaldo. Offside, Ruud van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, the Dutch striker couldn't get himself back on side. Correct decision. You'll see Lehmann bluffs the kick. When he's played forward, he's clearly in an offside position. Van Nistelrooy can't get himself back into an active area. Correct decision by the referee's assistant.
Not a moment that will have helped calm the nerves of Jens Lehmann after his two fluffs against Panathinaikos. Arsene Wenger was saying in the tunnel before the game he can accept a technical mistake, but not a judgmental error. And he thought that Lehmann made two of those in Greece. Reyes. Vieira. Edu. Arsenal have forgotten how to lose in the Barclays English Premier League.
I think Manchester United want to try and remind them.
Bergkamp lost it to Scholes, won it back. Here's Ljungberg. Lauren. Ince sold himself early. Edu. Henry. All the way through to Roy Carroll.
There is a slickness about Arsenal when they pass that ball about 1 and 2 touch. Edu this time being involved from the central midfield area. What an influence he's had on this team over the last 12 months. One person we haven't really seen feature yet for Arsenal is Dennis Bergkamp, and that's to do with the midfield of Manchester United. They're staying very narrow, not allowing that gap in there that Bergkamp likes to operate in. It's a good tactic by Manchester United. At the moment, Arsenal can't get the Dutchman in the game.
Here's the French, and Reyes is still down. But play goes on with Giggs. Arsenal effectively defending with 10 at the moment, and Van Nistelrooy's taken down a little late by Edu.
Well done, referee Mike Riley. I think that was just a clash of bodies, but Reyes seemed to be down from the...
And the Spaniard got the nod.
Phil Neville, not an awful lot in that for me. Good bit of skill. This was a run by Henry. Gary Neville gets a put in, Henry goes over. No questions asked. Arsenal may think so, but no. Referee was spot on again. Take your eye off Henry at your peril. One moment of brilliance from him can change the whole shape of the game. Manchester United, Rio Ferdinand in particular, has to stay on his toes. Concentration's the key when you play against people like Henry.
Well, Reyes has been shepherded to the sideline by the Arsenal physio Gary Lewin, which leaves Arsenal still reduced to 10 men, as Manchester United have it with Ainse. Headed down and away by Lauren. Philip Neville. Ainse. Van Nistelrooy. Rooney. Quickly met by Vieira. And then Edu is down by Ainse, and all of this is academic. Don't leave your seat, it's still 0-0.
Well, just a little reminder what Paul Scholes can still do. Ball dropped 25 yards out, rifled it past Lehmann. Just gave the keeper the nod, let him know that he's still around. See, foul there by Ainse, but when the ball drives loose, Paul Scholes does what Paul Scholes does best, blast it towards goal.
Scholes' last goal in a Manchester United shirt was the winner in last season's FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal. One of those 4 matches that these two teams played out last year, none of which were won by Arsenal. 2 draws in the league, a draw in the Community Shield, and a Manchester United win in that cup semi-final at Villa Park. Good tracking back by Giggs.
A brilliant wing play by Giggs. Not only goes forward with great intent, but understands his job, understands his responsibility to the team.
Vieira. Ashley Cole. Reyes. Tangle involving Gary Neville and Cole. The decision goes Manchester United's way. It's the first time that the crowd noise level has dipped at all since kick-off.
I think everybody's just catching the breath, John. We've had an unbelievable start to the game. Great pace, good opportunities either end.
Light drizzle falling across Old Trafford, which is never bad news. Means the surface should be nice and slick.
The referee is spot on. I think Lundberg was struggling to break free of Ferdinand.
Ainse, Scholes, kicked away by Toure. There's a foot race between the two of them, Ferdinand and Ljungberg. And Mike Riley saw nothing wrong, whereas Arsene Wenger, who doesn't always see everything, saw plenty in it. Alan Wiley, the 4th official on the left there, trying to explain. Scholes to Rooney. Best chance of the game so far has fallen Manchester United's way. A Giggs effort that was blocked bravely by Sol Campbell. This is Ryan Giggs. Reyes. Edu. Vieira. Henry. Reyes. Space opening up for Jose Antonio Reyes. Lovely pass, Bergkamp! Carroll in the way.
Very, very nearly a wonderful Arsenal move.
And now, a promising Manchester United break with Ronaldo. Got past Cole, but not past the illegal lunge of Patrick Vieira.
Well, I said there was a little lull in play. It's got back to it. Frenetic best again. Opportunity at one end for Bergkamp. And Ronaldo breaks on the counter-attack. Draws the foul from Vieira. End-to-end stuff.
20 minutes played, and we've had more incident in those 20 minutes than in many complete matches. Giggs will take this. Sylvestre is up. Ferdinand's up from the back. So's Ainse. Three members of United's backline. Lehmann gets more height than distance on the punch, and that'll be a corner.
Not another great moment for Lehmann there. Well, he could have maybe come to catch that. Doesn't always inspire with greatest of confidence, Jan Lehmann.
Five in the penalty area for Manchester United and for Wayne Rooney. And that's, in contrast, is a good take by Lehmann.
Yeah, that's better. And that gives you back four a whole load of confidence. When the keeper comes and takes one like that, they feel that, yes, he's right up for his game today.
Ainse. Crudely brought down by Bergkamp.
I think the referee was spot on.
Well, Mike Riley has had one or two calls to make. He's not produced a card yet, which is an achievement in itself, bearing in mind some of the challenges. But his most awkward call was the one we've just seen reviewed again. There's some who'd say there was contact and that's enough to give the free kick, and then we'd have been in red card territory as well.
That's right, he was in certainly on a goal-scoring opportunity, just got his shoulder ahead of Ferdinand, but I felt that Freddie was just running out of legs and almost was encouraging Ferdinand to make a contact so he could go to ground.
Gary Neville. Giggs leapt, but not as high as Lauren. It's out as far as Scholes. Ronaldo. Too heavy.
Brilliant find by Scholes. Picked the ball up on the edge of the box. Knew exactly what he was looking for. Drifted a wonderful ball. Look what he takes a touch. Sees Ronaldo, and it's a wonderfully flighty ball. Ronaldo should be steaming that back across goal.
Gary Neville's header helped on its way by Sylvestre. Except that we haven't seen one produced. Rain getting heavier across Old Trafford now. The skies somewhat darker than they were at kick-off. Ainse's header. Manchester United's free kick. The Argentine defender's first experience of Manchester United against Arsenal. Only his 8th game for the club, yet to lose. We shouldn't forget that Manchester United themselves are on an unbeaten run of 12 games in all competitions. That's a foul by Vieira.
It's gone a little bit scrappy at the moment. The two players getting involved, the little niggles.
From the touchline, from the dugout, indicates that Jens Lehmann, the Arsenal goalkeeper, is unhappy with his boots at the moment, and there may have to be a change of footwear. We'll see about that. Here's Ronaldo. Loves a party trick, but that was one too many. Bergkamp acted as a shield. Here's Henry. Ljungberg is the free man, and it just took a nick off a Manchester United heel.
I'm not actually sure how much Manchester United knew about that, but the deflection certainly worked for them. Again, it was another flowing Arsenal move. When they put the passes together, they do click into another gear.
Rooney. Ronaldo. Paul Scholes. Nice ball for Giggs. Wayne Rooney. And Reyes in the way of the pass that was intended for Ronaldo. And Rooney has tracked back a long way to confront Reyes. Vieira. Lauren. He's got Ljungberg outside him. Bergkamp ahead of him. That's neatly done by Bergkamp, drawing the foul from Phil Neville.
Yeah, but they are having difficulty finding Bergkamp. I said before, he can't quite find that space to operate in. Nice narrow lines between back four and line, and we've seen Lehmann change his boots. I think he slipped when he came out to punch that ball. Obviously with a little bit of rain coming down as well. Feels that he needs probably slightly longer studs.
Well, Gary Lewin, the physio, is down on his knees. The gentleman by the post is Vic Akers, who's in charge of the kit for Arsenal. Meanwhile, at the other end of the pitch, whilst Mrs. Akers and Lewin are changing Lehmann's footwear for him, Arsenal have a promising moment of their own. Mike Riley's just waiting for Lehmann to complete the change of footwear. And Thierry Henry looks full of intent. There's also Reyes, who can strike it with his left foot.
Take your choice from world-class free kick takers, really.
Lehmann is up and ready. So 3/4 of the length of the pitch away, his teammates can get on with it. Nearly half an hour played at Old Trafford in the game of the season so far in the Barclays English Premier League. It's Thierry Henry, and the wall that was 10 yards back to start with didn't seem to be by the time it blocked that. Lauren. Toure. Campbell. Henry. But once a heavy touch. Scholes. Ronaldo, the Portuguese. Gary Neville. Now Phil Neville. Ain't Giggs. Inadvertently given away by Toure. Giggs will do well to get the better of Lauren out there, though. Foul by the Welshman.
They are so athletic, this Arsenal team. You look on all areas across the back four, across the middle four. You've got all pace, you've got great mobility. Giggs trying to take on Lauren there, on having the foot speed to deal with it.
Edu. Given away to Ronaldo. Vieira using those extendable limbs of his, and then bringing down Ronaldo. And a potential flashpoint is calmed by the immediate presence on the scene of Mike Riley.
Yep, referee again right on top of the situation. Vieira got his foot in, one or two bodies coming in to have their say. The referee stands firm. Yeah. Patrick Vieira just telling his international teammate, Mikel Sylvester, I think he was in French, to go away, or something to that effect.
Reyes. Henry. Bergkamp is central. Comes off Phil Neville for an Arsenal throw. Is Vieira caught by Rooney? The referee's allowed play to continue, but he's had a word in the ear of Rooney as he ran past him.
It's just bubbling under the surface, you sense. One last challenge, and I think one or two bodies will be flying in.
Well, there is a history of mass confrontations in this fixture, not just last year. Ain't in early, but met by Campbell. Now Vieira. Bergkamp. Campbell had to get rid quickly. Toure back to Lehmann. Those new boots did the trick. And here's Edu. Reyes. Henri. Scholes was very quickly in at him.
It is so competitive in the middle of the park. Scholes is flying in, Neville's flying in. Whenever the front man takes a touch, there's somebody there to put pressure on them. Tapped on the knee by Phil Neville. Maybe can feel himself a little hoarse there. I think he was generally going for the ball.
You just feel that the referee's tolerance level has changed, though, now?
It's had to change, I think. The game was just starting to bubble up, just starting to get a little bit nasty, and I think he had to almost put his authority, stamp his authority on the game. He's done that with a number of yellow cards. It also creates a difficult situation. I think when you think of the people who are making the fouls, the full-backs particularly, both on yellow cards now, Neville and Cole, it makes it very, very difficult for them against tricky wingers. They only have to miss time one tackle. I feel he's a little bit harsh done by there, Phil Neville. I think he generally was going for the ball.
So, back to the football. Bergkamp. Ferdinand was given a little shove. Arsene Wenger made the point before the game that he felt that despite the responsibility of the Arsenal players for their own actions last year, when they did, by his admission, overreact, he felt that Manchester United were the side that started the provocation on that occasion.
Yeah, we've had that debate going most of the week, with Wenger and Fergie flinging mud at each other.
You could argue that Van Nistelrooy's raking down the shin has set the process rolling again.
I thought that was a poor moment in the game, and Van Nistelrooy doesn't need to do that. He's a class act, wonderful goal scorer. Sometimes lets himself down with those kind of situations, and it can often inflame the opposition.
Giggs. Scholes to Ainsley. Three in the middle for Manchester United. And Sol Campbell took it out of his own goalkeeper's gloves.
You know what? That's magnificent defending, because if you're not sure, head it, get it away from goal, and have the debate after. And he did exactly that, Sol Campbell. And that's where that indecision with Lehmann, and I feel, is still there. I don't feel his back four are totally confident with the German keeper.
Well, Van Nistelrooy is in there with Lehmann, making life awkward for the goalkeeper. Ronaldo! A chance.
Have to go down as half a chance. Ball somehow squirmed its way through to Ronaldo from Rooney's corner. It's a step over initially by Giggs, and quite on his toes there, Ronaldo, to make the best of the opportunity. In a tight game, yeah, had to go down as a real chance.
Yet to score this season, Ronaldo. It's not often he goes 11 games without a goal. Edu.
Possession that Manchester United are having in the game, they're just having difficulty opening Arsenal up, turning that possession into real opportunities.
Edu, back from Vieira.
Carroll, well, first time we really see Henri get through and look on the point of scoring. It's a clever ball. It's what you call a diagonal run onto a straight ball. There's a diagonal run, there's a straight ball by Edu, perfectly timed. Blocks a shot.
Reyes has taken a comparative age to go across to tee up this corner in the quadrant. Henri is prowling inside the Manchester United penalty area, and Ainsley and Vieira have indulged in a wrestling match. And still are. rather downcast Reyes.
Yeah, just rather overhit the corner. Had lots of bodies going in towards the near in the middle of the goal, but no one at the back stick. Went harmlessly wide. But Roy Carroll has been a good servant to Manchester United. Whenever they've been in trouble with the keeper and they've thrown him in, he's always steadied the ship for them. So he'll want to feel that he's the outright number one. There's always talk of Manchester United looking for another keeper. Joe Carroll will feel that he's done enough to suggest that he could hold down the place permanently.
The Italian Francesco Toldo is the latest name to be linked with a vacancy that at the moment doesn't exist. Tim Howard is back on the bench today, by the way, after a few weeks away from Manchester United. Ronaldo. Half-time rapidly approaching. Scholes. Gary Neville. Edu away. Only as far as Ainsley. Time for a touch. Giggs. Three waiting. Whacked it against Lauren, and it's a throw. Again, it's Ainsley. Giggs. And again, Ryan Giggs. And once more, Campbell away from in front of his own goalkeeper. Scholes to Rooney. Ball taken, not the man, by Vieira. It's only a throw.
Well, I think there's an area of indecision in the centre of that defensive area, and Sol Campbell's doing brilliantly to deal with things.
Ainsley. Oh, the feet are thundering in. And Rooney wasn't at all pleased with the challenge of Thierry Henry.
Well, 1 or 2 again, just getting involved, a few arms going off, pushing and shoving. The players need to control themselves.
Well, Rio Ferdinand has been picked out by Mike Riley. He is the skipper.
Exactly, and the skipper Rio has to not go running into situations and start pointing and shouting. Here's the original incident. Ainsley goes to ground, tries to take the ball with him. Henry jumps over him. I think he slightly catches his head, and then Rooney gets involved and pushing and shoving.
There are an awful lot of players out there who don't know what it means to take a backward step.
I'm afraid so. Sometimes cool heads are called for in these kind of situations.
Not too many of those out there at the moment. 2 additional minutes to be played. Ronaldo! And Lehmann down at his near post.
Well done, the goalkeeper. Difficult situation. Ball whipped in. Bodies coming in. Wet and greasy surface. He did well to hang on to it, Lehmann.
Gary Neville. Back to his goalkeeper. Now it's Sylvestre. Ronaldo. And Ronaldo fancies one.
Well, he decides to go for this, Ronaldo, when he's got good movement ahead of him, good runners, Rooney, Van Nistelrooy. Probably not the best decision, and well placed. Would like to see him drive forward and just commit some of the Arsenal defenders. Raymond happy to see the ball flying over his bar.
Henry. Bounces off Philip Neville. And then feeds Ljungberg. And Sylvestre struggles to get it away, and now Ainsley should, helped by Giggs. And there was a clipping of the Giggs heels there. So, come on, Robbie, I know it's going to be difficult. There's been so much going on, both on and off the ball, but sum up the first half for us.
Well, we've had it all. We've had good play. We've had tackles, we've had determination. No goals. On us even at the moment, the balance of power very much in the balance.
The usual blood and thunder then of Manchester United against Arsenal. One or two reckless challenges, not too many clear chances, the best of them falling to Thierry Henry. Mike Riley issuing 3 yellow cards, it could have been more. Arsene Wenger stalking off to deliver half-time words of inspiration. At the moment, that unbeaten run is intact for Arsenal. They're heading towards 50 English Premier League games without defeat, but that record is under threat. It's Manchester United 0, Arsenal 0 at half-time at Old Trafford. Welcome back to Old Trafford, where the kick-off for the second half is nigh. No goals between Manchester United and Arsenal in this heavyweight collision in the English Premier League, but it certainly hasn't disappointed as a spectacle. Robbie Earls alongside me just before kick-off. Robbie, are you expecting any changes of principle or focus from either of the teams?
No, although I do sense in terms of control and just being a little bit more patient with themselves. I think both managers will have stressed to the players that it's important. Yes, we're competitive and we make our presence felt, but we don't go over the top. Because I just felt there was a point towards the latter part of the First Division where one or two players were just bubbling over a little bit, and I thought we could be heading towards a red card, and that would spoil what's been a magnificent 45 minutes of football.
It's been the intensity of the game that's really hit home, and happily what was pretty heavy rain during the half-time interval has now subsided to a very light drizzle. No changes to either side at half-time. A draw would frustrate Manchester United, but it would suit Arsenal down to the ground. The gap between the two could be anything between 8 and 14 points by the final whistle, and any normal judge would suggest that even at this early stage of the season, a 14-point deficit would just about rule Manchester United out of the Barclays English Premier League title race this time around. But here's Wayne Rooney with a lot of football still to be played, and a lot of tackles still to fly in. The first of the second half coming from the fullback Lauren on Rooney.
Good burst of pace by Rooney. He's happy to move in all areas of the pitch, this time working down in the left-hand channel. Forces the Arsenal defender into conceding a corner. 6 in the box for Wayne Rooney's corner kick. Plus Scholes outside it, and how many times have we seen meaty contact from Paul Scholes in that sort of position? Well, personnel was slightly different. We used to see David Beckham drifting it wide and Scholes blasting in. This time it's Rooney, picks out Scholes on the edge of the box. I have to say, again, someone of Paul Scholes' ability and technical competence, that has to go down as a half a chance.
Here's Rio Ferdinand, and now Phil Neville for Manchester United, who've had too many draws in the English Premier League so far this season. They've drawn 5 of their last 7 Premier League matches. So whilst they haven't lost many, they've not won enough of them. And that's why they're down nearer to mid-table than the top of the table, where they're used to being. Gary Neville to Wayne Rooney, swept on first time, looking for Ronaldo, played back by Cole. Scholes. Arsene Wenger was his usual calm self before the match. He's usually a picture of inscrutability, but he lost his cool here last year. So did a number of others. Kolo Touré to Edu. Bergkamp. Once more it's Edu, and Ainse blocked off the run of Vieira.
Nothing doing. Ainse has a right to stand in there. Vieira's going to come, he has to come around the defender, and that's good defending by the Argentinian.
Giggs.
We are seeing times as Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp drift into sort of wider areas and almost leave the middle of the pitch for the likes of Vieira and Lundberg to break through. I don't think Ainse does an awful lot wrong there. As a defender, you have a right to hold your position, and the attacker has it's for him to make his way around you.
Deals for handball against Ashley Cole. Here's Henry. Fast Phil Neville, but he's still got Gary to beat, and Phil's come back for more. Ronaldo. It's broken for Henry. Might just fancy one here, Thierry Henry. Shaped as if to shoot, instead it's Bergkamp. And now it's Reyes. That's a good firm block by Gary Neville. And Ronaldo skips away from Reyes. Portuguese away from Spaniard. On for Wayne Rooney to pursue. And Campbell, his England colleague, is with him, and Rooney was guilty of a foul, and now lets loose a verbal volley at Jim Devine.
Also, lack of experience a little bit by Rooney there. We sometimes forget, what is he, 19 today? He really doesn't have to do anything. So Campbell's ushering the ball out. The ball maybe isn't going to run, and Campbell will give away a corner or a throw-in. Rooney lets him off lightly by just a little nudge in the back is enough to send the Arsenal defender down to the ground.
Ain't Van Nistelrooy. Rooney is in the middle, so's Giggs. Van Nistelrooy's cross is too strong.
We just haven't seen Rooney get into the game in the areas he'd like to at the moment. Working well in the wide areas, but as yet not had anything on target himself. I think that will worry Alex Ferguson. For all the play they've had, they haven't really created that many clear-cut opportunities.
Manchester United's last 2 games have finished goalless. 3 in a row is pretty much unheard of. So poor clearance by Ferdinand straight to Henry. This is Edu. Spread to Lauren. And Vieira's forward in this attack. And there were a couple of ricochets that might have made life very awkward for Manchester United. Touré, Bergkamp, Lauren, Scholes, hassling Vieira. Frenchman has it though. Reyes,
Henry miscued. It was a brilliant midfield work by Vieira. He hustled for the ball, he outstripped Paul Scholes. This was the ball from Lauren into a really dangerous area, and a couple of ricochets. I think Manchester United are pleased to just hack that one wide. Clever ball fed in by Lauren, inviting for the likes of Lundberg and Edu. A couple of ricochets, and Gary Neville just hacks the ball clear.
Scholes. Lauren whips it away from Ainse. 3 of Arsenal against 4 of Manchester United. Oh, and what I think started off as a shot almost became a telling pass to Henry.
Well, I think we have a real novel situation here. The ball boys actually run onto the pitch and thrown it back to the keeper, and the ball actually didn't go out of play.
Well, you know, it's the second time it's happened in the English Premier League. It happened at Charlton in the game against Newcastle last weekend. The ball boy rather too keen for a piece of the action. This leads to a goal. He'll go down in folklore. Ljungberg just kept in. Bergkamp took a deflection. Reyes. Henry wants it in the middle. Well, it very nearly did lead to something. It's going to be another corner.
I don't think Manchester United are best pleased that Arsenal didn't just kick this ball out. But Arsenal win it back, eventually get the ball out to Lundberg. It's a half shot by Bergkamp that breaks out to the left-hand side.
Corner is short. And Ronaldo got a tackle in. And Henry has played it back to Cole. Phil Neville. Ronaldo. Down under the challenge of Edu. Ronaldo. Blocked by Cole.
Hasn't often improved that side of his game, Ashley Cole. One time everyone used to say he's great at attacking but can't defend. Certainly addressed that problem.
Rooney. Ronaldo. Plenty forward for Manchester United this time, and Ronaldo's escaped. Gary Neville. Block was by Bergkamp. And here's Philip Neville instead. That's a foul.
Again, nice and calm by Mr. Riley. Saw the incident, walks over patiently, explains it to the players. Opportunity for Manchester United to send the big guns forward. Sylvester dangerous in the box. Ferdinand, aerial threat. Need a good delivery here from Giggs.
Manchester United unbeaten at Old Trafford this season. In by Giggs. Ronaldo!
Well, having got there, you do feel he should have maybe done better. It was Ainsley who initially got in his way. Decent ball there from Giggs, right in the danger area. Ronaldo seemed to almost turn his back on the ball. See as he jumps, thinks looking for the contact from Campbell, just seems to pull his head out of the situation.
Four attempts on goal now for Ronaldo, but still no goals. In what's usually a summit meeting in the English Premier League, but can't quite be described as such this time around. Maybe it will be when the two teams meet for the second time in the season in the spring at Highbury. Lauren, Vieira. Arsenal's throw. Bergkamp. There's no foul on Vieira. This is Wayne Rooney. Shoulder to shoulder with Edu. Henry, Reyes, Ashley Cole, Rio Ferdinand, silky smooth across.
That's what Rio does so well. Arsenal work the ball wonderfully in midfield, get Cole out on a spare run. Ferdinand sees the danger, gets across and deals with it.
Reyes. Bergkamp. Lauren. Ljungberg. Arsenal still trying to find a way through. Seen plenty of the ball, but clear opportunities to score have been fairly few and far between. This is Reyes though. Here's Bergkamp. That's Ferdinand, and there is Giggs. And now Ronaldo, skipping in front of Cole. Still Ronaldo. Firm header away by Campbell. Vieira. Henry. Last time that Arsenal lost a game in any competition was the quarter-final second leg of the Champions League last season against Chelsea. And that's very nearly 7 months ago. This season, 13 games, 10 wins, 3 draws, no defeats, 36 goals and only 12 conceded. They are currently the dominant force in English football.
I mean, the remarkable stats, John, you read out. This English Premier League is competitive from the first kick of the first part of the season till the last kick. Every team is trying every minute to win the ball, to win the game. And for Arsenal to have gone 49 games, whether they get this 50 or not, it's been an unbelievable run by this set of players.
Scholes. Ferdinand. Nicely done by Scholes to Gary Neville. Ronaldo, read by Bergkamp. Here's Vieira. Diagonal run by Ljungberg, takes the defender. Here's Henry, now Freddie Ljungberg. Ferdinand in the way for Manchester United.
Well, that's what you missed for 6 months when Rio wasn't there. That's absolutely top-drawer defending. Wonderful movement from Arsenal, good options. Ferdinand stood his ground, got his back foot in, won the ball, broke up the attack.
It's the wonderful thing about a game such as this. Manchester United against Arsenal almost always brings top performances from top players. Players performing towards or at their limits. Reyes.
Sense there's a little more fluidity to Arsenal's play. They're a little bit more confident in their passing, a little bit snappier. Manchester United just stuttering a little bit with their possession. Not quite finding the man with the same accuracy, with the same pace.
Ronaldo. Taking on Cole and Reyes. And he got beyond Reyes, but then was brought down by the Spaniard.
It's a foul and nothing more, and the referee's spot on again.
Still only 3 yellow cards in the game, and there could have been twice as many. The referee has tried to officiate with a reasonably light touch today. Manchester United desperate to end this oh-so-long unbeaten run of Arsenal's. It's in towards Rio Ferdinand. Sol Campbell was with him. Manchester United have a throw. And here's Philip Neville. Scholes. Gary Neville.
At some point, Arsene Wenger will think of throwing Robert Pires into the fray. Maybe he'll move Reyes into a more central area and take off Dennis Bergkamp. Pires just gives you that little bit of extra, something special from a wide area. Might pick a pass, might dribble past his opponent. So I do feel as though Arsenal will want to win this game, not content to take a draw the way they've had so much possession.
Sylvestre. Touré. So 2-point gap between Arsenal and Chelsea at the top of the Barclays English Premier League at the moment. And for all we talk of Manchester United, it is Chelsea who are the closest rivals to Arsenal. But Arsenal-Chelsea doesn't quite at the moment have the same resonance as Manchester United against Arsenal. Rio Ferdinand. Comes off the thigh of Campbell and then the head of Touré. And then the head of Rooney. Philip Neville. Cole. Bergkamp. Ferdinand. Away by Carroll. Edu. Still no Gilberto for Arsenal today. It's a moot point as to whether Gilberto or Edu would be first choice. Edu just about managed to claim the shirt towards the end of last season, but Gilberto's out with a back injury.
Sense as though Arsenal have just stepped the level up a little bit, just starting to dictate the play a little bit more.
Rooney. Chased by Touré. Philip Neville. Ryan Giggs. Sylvestre. Eitze. Foul by Vieira.
Trying to play a quick one, referee's not having it. We've also noticed that the 2 wide men have changed. Ronaldo and Giggs swap sides. Ronaldo hasn't had an awful lot of change out of Ashley Cole. Maybe just want to try his luck against Lauren.
Well, this is Mikael Sylvestre. And here's Ronaldo. Now, as Robbie said, popping up on the left. Eitze, the left back. And again, Scholes. Chipped over the top for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Goalkeeper just hesitated, but not a problem.
Just waiting for his opportunity, Ruud, isn't he? Just feel there'll be one chance in what the last 25-30 minutes for him to make his mark on this game, and something of a passenger for most of it. leave him at your peril in the 18-yard box.
Well, the chance came in stoppage time last year from the penalty spot, and he whacked it against the face of Jens Lehmann's bar. Arsenal pretty successful here in recent seasons. They've only lost on 2 of their last 8 visits to Old Trafford. They won the title here and indeed clinched the double in 2002, and yet the previous season they were beaten here 6-1. A game in which Manchester United led 4-0 after only 26 minutes of play with a hat-trick by Dwight York. Yes, there used to be a day when Arsenal did know what it was like to experience defeat. May 2003, the last time they lost an English Premier League game. Ronaldo, back to Ainse. A little over keen from Edu, leaning in.
It's interesting, when he first came to English football, I used to think Edu was a little bit lightweight, didn't quite understand what the English Premier League was all about, but certainly learned his lesson now. It's a good frame, good size, and lets people know he's around.
Gary Neville, deep towards Ronaldo. He turns and confronts Lauren. And still wants a word in the Cameroon fullback's ear.
Nice to see a handshake, though.
Rooney. Phil Neville. Ferdinand. Ainse. Edu goes down clutching his face. Ainse lets fly. Secure handling by the German Lehmann. And Edu still down. Brazilian floored by Argentine.
There's been a few battles. It's a handoff, really. Ainse, I think he has the right to go for the ball. Protecting it with one hand. Catches Edu in the face. It didn't look too bad to me, and Lehmann does well to hang on to the swerving shot. I've been reasonably impressed with Ainse, what I've seen of him this season. Good, solid performer, competitive, has a nice left foot. And has settled well into this Manchester United back line.
Well, it's only the 4th time that Edu has started a game this season. He is now a full Brazilian international, and extraordinarily, he wasn't an international until Easter, and he's now got 14 caps for Brazil.
And you're always right, sometimes English Premier League managers don't want to take the South American players.
But Arsene Wenger did want to take Edu, and he's been fully repaid for that show of faith. 67,862 people inside Old Trafford today to watch Wenger go head-to-head with Ferguson. Manchester United lock horns with Arsenal. Just 130 below the all-time Barclays English Premier League record attendance, which unsurprisingly was also set on this ground against Middlesbrough earlier in the month. Rooney tried to encourage Giggs to come forward. Reyes. And on the subject of ground capacity, this already is the biggest ground available in English football, and shortly it will hold 75,000 people once planning permission has been granted for 7,500 new seats. Phil Neville. In behind Campbell, here comes the goalkeeper. He got into trouble in Athens when he came out of his area. And Ruud van Nistelrooy has spoilt all his good work by catching Lehmann from behind. And I think the referee may want words with Rooney as well, who's protested the case a little too strongly.
Well, he just never quite convinces me, Jens Lehmann, when he gets into these areas. You know, looks to dither on the ball and almost encourages a challenge from Van Nistelrooy. You know, sometimes kick the ball into Rosette, get back in your goal.
Well, Arsenal have taken the free kick before Jens Lehmann was anything like ready. There's a show of solidarity for you.
I told you, you've got to be a good athlete if you're going to play in this Arsenal team, including the goalkeeper.
It's the problem, isn't it, when a goalkeeper thinks he's a footballer. Rooney. Phil Neville. Offside, Van Nistelrooy.
Must have been close. In fairness to the referee's assistant, he's bang in line with it. Arsenal push up and hold a good line. Van Nistelrooy must just have been a yard wrong side of the Arsenal back line. For me, the jury's still out with Jens Lehmann. If you looked at his defensive record in terms of clean sheets, you would say yes, he's done very, very well taking over the legend that was Dave Seaman. But there's moments in a game when you see him and he just doesn't quite convince you he's totally confident.
Well, Robert Pires will be with us in just a moment. Thought from the benches that Reyes is likely to make way. Meanwhile, here's Bergkamp. Sylvester shepherding it into the path of Roy Carroll. Scholes, Rooney. Arsenal still waiting to make their alteration. And it's this man on the ball now, Reyes, who's going to come off. Henry. Referee didn't like the nature of Bergkamp's challenge. And now we'll have the substitution. And it's some luxury, isn't it, to have a player of the calibre of Robert Pires to come on with 20 minutes to play. Off comes Jose Antonio Reyes. And I wonder, as the Spaniard makes his leisurely way from a sodden Old Trafford pitch, whether Robert Pires will prove to be the key to the door.
There's not many great moments against Manchester United, Pires, and there was a school of thought that Gary Neville seems to have the measure of him. It was maybe why Arsene Wenger went for Reyes in the starting lineup. But what Pires does have is great vision, great technical ability, can find passes, good finisher from a wide area, and just poses another type of threat on Manchester United now with, what, some 20 minutes to go.
Robert Pires is making his 200th Arsenal appearance. He has never scored against Manchester United. Giggs, driven onto the head of Edu. Here's Bergkamp. Mopped up by Scholes, and it's now with Rio Ferdinand. His 6th game back after that 8-month ban for missing a drug test. He's made such a difference.
The more you realise that Rooney has conned the referee into giving a penalty.
Arsenal with 17 minutes to rescue their unbeaten record. And Scholes has a disagreement with Henry. Old Trafford abuzz as Edu takes the free kick. Headed up and away by Sylvester. Rooney. Ruud van Nistelrooy. He was caught by Pires. The Dutchman's down. Will Manchester United put it out? No. Van Nistelrooy's back on his feet. Remember, Arsenal recovered from 3-1 down against Middlesbrough to win 5-3. They've been in some tight corners in this 49-game run. This may prove to be the one that they don't escape from. Vieira with a challenge on Giggs. This will be a booking for Arsenal's captain.
Just again, I talked about control. Need to just stay in control, Arsenal. Just feel they've been rattled by the decision, feel unjustly done. Now they must keep possession of the football, keep control of themselves. There's still plenty of time in this Arsenal team to get an equaliser.
Old Trafford noisier, more animated than it's been at any stage this afternoon. They like nothing more in these parts than to see Arsenal beaten. Ronaldo. Philip Neville. Sylvester to Ince. Bergkamp. Vieira. Henry. Bergkamp. Arsenal have been equal to every challenge thrown at them in the Barclays English Premier League throughout last season, the start of this as well. 49 games in total since they last suffered a defeat. Leeds United, the last team to beat them, on the 4th of May 2003. Lauren. Ljungberg. Ljungberg went through Giggs, and here's Robert Pires, and Henry, and Thierry Henry was somehow crowded out. Arsenal with their reputation on the line. Ljungberg. Lauren. Runs into Giggs, wins the free kick.
Well, if it was possible, the level's gone up higher. The pace has increased, the intensity has increased. Big guns are forward. Campbell, Toure, Edu, Pires, Henry, Vieira. Need a delivery from Bergkamp.
And every Manchester United player is back to defend. This is a win they want so desperately. It's Bergkamp, met by Phil Neville. Lawrence back past half the length of the Old Trafford pitch. Here's Ashley Cole. Stadium clock has suddenly quickened from Arsenal's viewpoint and slowed down markedly for Manchester United. Henry, Cole, Edu. Flighted for Bergkamp. Vieira. Cole, Arsenal thrive on doing the simple things well. They need an equaliser. Pires. Toure. Pires, Edu. Again, Kolo Toure. This time the outstretched leg of Sylvestre in the way. And now it's Van Nistelrooy. Lauren got a foot to it. Ronaldo.
Quite simply, United need to keep the ball, get the back four pushed up, try and squeeze into the Arsenal half and keep some possession.
And Edu is going to be penalised with a yellow card for this.
A little bit of frustration in this one from Edu. Scholes just gets the ball away. Edu just flicks at his ankles and catches him.
Ronaldo. Rooney's up with him. There are two waiting for a cross. Now Ronaldo, did he lose his footing? Referee wasn't impressed by that one. Manchester United feel they should have had another penalty.
Well, that would be rubbing it in.
Edu. Lauren through the legs of Ainse. Ljungberg. Tackle was a rash one and a legal one from Sylvestre.
I think when you come in the back, a big player like that, body's in between the man and the ball. Sylvestre has to be tackling, but Ronaldo's great tricks. Gets to the byline. Well, it's probably more of a penalty than the one that was given.
Absolutely. But it's Arsenal now with the chance. Good header away by Ferdinand. He rose majestically there. And Van Nistelrooy's clearance has found Ronaldo. And his pace will trouble Arsenal if he can get beyond Cole, and he can't.
A great battle between those two. Cole and Ronaldo down on that right-hand side.
Cole. Henry sprinting towards the penalty spot. High in the air it goes off the pate of Sylvestre. And it's comfortable for Roy Carroll. Less than 10 minutes now.
Well, one thing I don't think you want to do if you're Manchester United is break this Arsenal team. They're a proud lot. This record means a lot to them. You don't win 49 games without having character and team spirit and all those things, as well as undoubted ability.
Giggs for Van Nistelrooy. Up against Lauren. Still going, Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Free kick has been awarded. And it is in Arsenal's favour. And Manchester United are appealing to the referee that they took it from the wrong place. forward, straight to Gary Neville. Ain't save. Youngberg, that's lovely. To earn a couple of yards on Ainsay. Ferdinand in the way of the cross, Scholes miskicked. Ainsay got a piece of it. And here comes Kolo Touré for Arsenal, who are behind. Doesn't happen often. Youngberg, away by Ferdinand.
Rio Ferdinand's been immense, John. Absolutely immense. This is a man who's missed, what, 6 months of football. Fabulous at the back, a real captain's performance.
Vieira. Edu.
Well, it's all about belief now for Arsenal. Do they believe they can keep it? Wayne Rooney, again, a central figure. And Sol Campbell, well, we'll see. Here's the key moment in the game. Campbell hangs a foot, but you can see how disappointed he is in Rooney. Arsene Wenger, a wry smile. Van Nistelrooy seizes the moment. What a big goal that could turn out to be.
Looks more likely that the gap between the two will be 8 points rather than an enormous 14. Manchester United are considering introducing Alan Smith to what's already a fairly combustible mix.
If that does turn out to be the winning goal, we're going to have a certain amount of debate and paper inches on whether it was or wasn't a penalty. The referee was conned or not by Rooney. But the fact remains, Manchester United are 1-0 up, and Arsenal have, what, some 6 or 7 minutes to try and pull back this unbeaten run.
Van Nistelrooy sandwich, somehow Kolo Touré emerged, and this is Lauren, and now Vieira with a bit of space, which has been at a premium. Ashley Cole, Pires ahead of him, Henry ahead of him, Youngberg too, and Bergkamp. Pires wants the ball now, he's got it. And on the half volley, it's swept away by Scholes.
Having got there, Pires probably picked the wrong option, got behind the Manchester United back line. Could possibly have carried the ball, but Scholes was back there too. All hands on deck for Manchester United to clear the danger.
Pires. Oh, just when they need good delivery, they're getting ordinary, mortal delivery. Campbell. Comes out to Ronaldo. Ronaldo making life awkward for Youngberg, and it's Ronaldo who's going to make way when Alan Smith is sent on. Here's Vieira. Depth on the cross towards Ashley Cole. Too much depth.
Well done, Ryan Giggs again. Talked about Giggs, his defensive responsibility. Track Cole all the way. Long ball by Vieira. Here is Alan Smith, who just had a little bit more defensive quality to Manchester United. Won't be as attack-minded as Ronaldo, but will keep the ball. We'll have a little bit of strength in the tackle. And Manchester United have their hold now.
Well, 18 months ago, when Arsenal last suffered a Premier League defeat, they did so against Leeds United, for whom Alan Smith was an integral part at the time. He actually missed that game through suspension, having been sent off a couple of weeks earlier. But he was there at Highbury that day, and he is here today at Old Trafford. And this is the central incident of the game. Rooney going down under the challenge of Sol Campbell, and Van Nistelrooy slotting in the penalty. Last year he went for elevation and missed. This time it was a daisy cutter, and he scored. Touré. Champions never go down without a fight. Bergkamp. Freddie Youngberg. Phillips cross, easy for Sylvestre. And Laurent lost it to Van Nistelrooy, Arsenal's throw. Perez. Patrick Vieira. How much have Arsenal got left? Cole. Henry. They've been setting records on a more or less weekly basis. Here's Perez. Here's Ashley Cole! Fraction away from the angle.
Goals at the chance. Patient build up this time by Arsenal. Worked the ball well out on the left-hand side. Goes into Perez, eventually tees up Ashley Cole, but there's good pressure on the ball. United throwing bodies in front of it. Paul Scholes, I think, is the first one to put pressure on Cole. And Ashley Cole can't keep his shot on target.
Sol Campbell. Arsenal with the free kick. Vieira. Away from Giggs. Rooney's attention's forced a mistake, and here is Wayne Rooney. Won cleanly and fairly by Edu. Sylvestre. Arsenal came here seeking to confirm a switch in the power base of English football, but they're facing their first defeat in nearly 18 months. Here's Van Nistelrooy trying to confirm the scoreline. Nothing wrong with the tackle despite the Dutchman going down. Laurent. Perez. Cole. Bergkamp. Huge cheers around Old Trafford at another stray pass. Here's Giggs. He might finish it here. He's away from Edu. Ryan Giggs foiled by Lehmann. Arsenal are still in it.
Stood strong, the big keeper. When they needed him, he came up trumps for Arsenal.
Perez. All eyes on the fourth official at the moment. How much additional time will there be? Henry. Tackled by the other number 14, Alan Smith.
Well, that's what Smith gives you, what Ronaldo maybe doesn't, that defensive quality on the right-hand side. But this was a chance from Giggs. It's clear daylight as he gets free. Lehmann does well to stand big.
Campbell. Bergkamp not too happy with the presence of Ainsay, but it won't matter, and there are 4 extra minutes to be played. 4 minutes for Arsenal to rescue themselves and to extend this oh-so-lengthy unbeaten run. And a substitution as well by Manchester United. Louis Saha is coming on in place of the man whose calmness and coolness from the spot may well have decided this epic occasion. Cole. Really making life awkward. Vieira. Bergkamp. Here's Ljungberg. Possibilities here for Arsenal. Bit interesting. Giggs to Saha, his first real touch, tackled by Vieira. Bergkamp. Play is so broken now. Bergkamp floats it in towards Henry, played by Roy Carroll. Could be the most important clean sheet of his career.
United player. The referee was spot on with his decision again. Had a good game, Mike Riley, today. Refereed sensibly.
Lehmann. Still a ball out for 49. Manchester United are hanging on to that reputation that they so crave to be regarded as English football's top dogs. Manchester United confirms that Arsenal are beaten.
Well, on his 19th birthday, we said this boy loves the big stage. Somehow you know his name's going to be associated to the headlines. And we're seeing one or two unsavoury moments there.
Lehmann is arguing his point. Sol Campbell is also being picked out. And Jim Devine is having words with Mike Riley. It's not going to make any difference. It is 2-0 to Manchester United, and Rooney has set up one goal by falling for the penalty and has scored the other from Alan Smith's cross. Do you think Alex Ferguson enjoyed that? You bet he did. Not finished yet, not by a long chalk. And now the rest of this game is merely academic, because not even Arsenal are going to score twice in 30 seconds. Bergkamp there, stepping away from Smith, and then Bergkamp put his arm out and caught Smith in the face. Still the arguments go on. These two sides are never going to agree on anything. The last time that Arsenal experienced a Barclays English Premier League defeat was on the 4th of May 2003 at the hands of Leeds United at Highbury, on a day when the title was effectively handed to Manchester United. 18 months on, Manchester United are the side who will end this remarkable record. The 21st century invincibles no longer. Henry. We were promised 4 additional minutes. We've had 5. And in a moment's time, Old Glittering Road, by no means does it really affect their Premiership title hopes, but what it does affect is the self-belief of their greatest rivals, Manchester United. And on his 19th birthday, Wayne Rooney's been the key. His first Premier League goal for the club. He also won the penalty. Ruud van Nistelrooy got the crucial score, having hit the bar in the corresponding fixture last year. And that is why Manchester United have come out on top in a thunderous game. Manchester United 2, Arsenal 0, amidst the rain at Old Trafford.